Okay,
Okay, I'm sorry, Your
Sorry
Honor.
about that, court reporter.
Okay,
But you're trying to provide testimony through your questions. You're trying to say, hey, I believe all of these things, Mr. Ford, I think your name is. I believe all of these things. Don't you agree? You can't do that. You have to say, you have to ask him a question and maybe he'll give you the answer you want, but maybe he won't. But you can't state what you can't testify in a question and then go, would you agree?
okay. Your Honor, thank you. No further questions.
Well, I don't want, no, I want you to be able to ask questions if you have questions. You just can't try and throw in testimony and questions. So I'm not trying to stop you questioning. We will go on the record in the matter 26 SC02, Jeremy Beecroft Well Drilling and Pump Repair Incorporated versus Roger Holschbach.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, appearances here today. We do have the corporation who is present by, are you Mr. Beecroft?
Yes.
Jeremy Beecroft, in person with his counsel, Courtney Klasa. We do have Mr. Holschbach appearing in person without counsel. We're set here today in this matter for a de novo hearing. That means it starts anew. So anything that was stated or presented to the court commissioner at the previous hearing in May, you cannot rely upon. This is a brand new start from the very beginning trial. All right, so I do have the summons and complaint. Ms. Klasa, you may begin. Well, first I'm going to have, who are we going to have as witnesses?
We have two witnesses, Your Honor, Mr. Beecroft and then the well driller, Justin Ford.
And you're going to provide testimony?
Yes, my wife testimony and my wife, Sherry Hoshbach.
And is it Sherry with a Y or an I or an IE?
It's SHERI.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm going to have all parties who will be providing testimony, please stand up, raise your right hand. You're all going to be sworn in.
You affirm that the testimony you're about to provide in this matter should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Yes, to help my God.
All right, you may be seated. Ms. Klasa, are you asking for any sequestration?
No.
All right, so all parties and witnesses may stay, or all witnesses may stay present in the courtroom during the testimony. Ms. Klasa, you may begin. Who is your first witness?
I'm going to call Jeremy Beecroft as my first witness.
Mr. Beecroft, if you would come forward, have a seat at the witness stand, please. All right, now you may begin.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
Jeremy Beecroft.
And are you the owner of Jeremy Beecroft Well Drilling and Pump Repair, Inc.?
Yes.
And how long have you been the owner?
29 years now. 30 years now.
How many wells do you drill in a year?
Right around 200 wells a year.
Okay, so roughly you've drilled 200 wells a year in 29 years. You've drilled quite a few wells.
Yeah, many thousands.
Sure. Do you remember having a conversation with the defendant about drilling a well for him?
Yes.
And how did that go?
Well, I check well records when I bid a well, and the majority of his wells next to him are shallower there. I was actually doing a well for his neighbor about 500 feet away as the crows flies, and his iron wasn't that bad out of his point. So we kept his well shallow. But this guy, Roger, he made it clear his iron was awful. So I went out there and met him, looked at the job site the day before we drilled it, and I told him how deep we go, it depends on what we drill through, because when we go for better water, you want to go through clay or hard pan, because that separates the water quality better. So, and when we drilled as well, we didn't hit clay or hard pan until 115. From the surface to like 100, it had some clayish, silty stuff, but nothing we could make a well in. You know, his point was shallow, but nothing had changed. So we knew it would have been the same bad iron if we had made it any shallower. And he watched the entire time, other than 10 minutes he was inside. So he knew how deep the well was going. I told him how deep we need to go. It depends on what we drill through.
Okay, and I'll get to the actual drilling later. Your Honor, can I approach? I have an exhibit here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Has it been marked?
No.
Please mark it. If you're gonna use it as an exhibit, come have the clerk mark it.
I got tired of popping up, so we put that in. Rest in later.
Mr. Beecroft, do you recognize what's in front of you here?
Yes,
And what is it?
it's a bid for the well.
And is this something that you would fill out when you are going to drill a well for a customer?
Yes.
And what are the key points here that you filled out for Mr. Hulschbach's well?
Okay, well, when I first bid the job, I'm just going off of the wells I find close to the area. And I got an 80-foot minimum charge. And so this is based on 80 feet. And if it goes deeper, you pay by the foot.
So that's how you come up with that first number, the
Yes.
80-foot
And I didn't
times.
realize.
I'm just gonna stop you. Please wait until she's done speaking before you speak. My court reporter needs to take everything down, and it's very hard for her to take down two people talking at once. Okay?
Okay,
So that first line item, you come up with by basically the depth of the well times the price per foot.
yes,
Okay, and you came up with that amount basically guessing based on other wells in the area.
yes,
When you drill a well, you don't know the exact depth
No.
before doing it.
no,
Okay. I have a second exhibit, Your Honor. Can I approach?
Yes, and please.
Oh, sorry. Can I, can I have this exhibit admitted into evidence, please?
All right, any objections, Mr. Holschbach?
No objection.
Received.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Beecroft, do you recognize what's in front of you?
yes,
And what is that?
it's the bill.
So when do you send out this portion?
After the well is done,
And is this the invoice that you sent to the defendant?
yes.
Could you explain the difference between this document and the previous one?
Yes, the only thing different is the well depth on the proposal is based on 80 foot. And the well ended up 152, going for better water. And so it took at the top, like 80 times 64 was 5120 on the original proposal. And now it went deeper to 152, so it's 152 times 64, which ended up being 9728. Everything else is the same.
So the difference between the two is just simply because you went deeper than 80 feet.
Yes,
Okay. And Your Honor, I'd ask that we admit Exhibit 2 into evidence, please.
Mr. Holschbach, any objections?
No objection.
Received.
Did Mr. Hulschbach pay this invoice?
no, he paid a portion of it.
What portion did he pay?
He paid up to 100 foot's worth.
Which was $9,995.
I don't have the exact number in front of me.
So why did he only pay 100 foot worth if the bill was 152?
He just trying to get out of paying his bill. He knew how deep it was going. He knew we needed to go deeper for better water if he didn't want to have iron.
Did you have a conversation with Mr. Hulschbach after the fact by text message?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach? I have a third exhibit.
You may. Please have it marked.
I will.
Thank you.
Mr. Beecroft, do you recognize what's in front of you?
Yes.
And what is it?
It's our text message
Text messages with who?
with Roger.
And yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Could you read the text message?
Yeah, it says, Jeremy, we have no intention not to pay the bill. We were very disappointed in how things were handled. At the very least, you should have inquired with me about going deeper. Jeremy, how could you even say that I would have gotten bad water if you stopped at 100 foot, which was the maximum depth that I had authorized you to go. Then I said, you never said that first off. Second, I said, we will have to decide how deep we need to go once we start drilling. I explained to you when we go for better water, we want to go through clay or hard pan because it separates the water
I'm gonna
qualities.
say, I can read,
Okay, Your Honor.
and I have no idea when these were sent, what time frame, what month, what day, any time of the day. I don't know any of those things.
We can get that information. Jeremy, or sorry, Mr. Beecroft, do you remember when you sent these text messages?
Yes, this was just a few days after we drilled the well.
Okay. And once you did more text messages happen between you and Mr. Hulschbach? But at this point, you did not believe that he was not going to pay the bill? He said he had no intention of not paying the bill?
Yeah, he said he was going to pay.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd ask for this exhibit to be admitted into evidence.
I hear that it was a few days after it was drilled, but I haven't heard on by any testimony when the well was drilled.
I can ask further questions if you'd like. Mr. Beecroft, do you remember the date that the well was drilled?
I could look it up. It's gonna take me a minute, but I'm assuming it's gonna be late October.
You can look, what do you have to look it up?
My well list on my phone.
I also have a well report, Your Honor, which is an exhibit.
Yeah, that,
All right, let him review the well report, refresh your recollection. Once your recollection is refreshed, please give it back to your attorney.
10/30 of 25.
So, Mr. Beecroft, what day was the well drilled on?
10/30 of the year 25.
And how long after were these text messages sent?
Just a couple days after.
So you would say like October 31st, November 1st, one of those 2 days?
Yes.
Okay. And after you received these text messages, did you continue to communicate with Mr. Hulschbach?
Briefly, we talked on the phone for a little bit too, and then once he paid me what he did pay me, I waited for the check to clear the bank, and then I said, we'll be going to court.
Your Honor, I'd ask for Exhibit 3 to be accepted into evidence.
Mr. Holzbach,
No objection, Your Honor.
I'm staying receiving until I have a certain testimony received by Mr. Holzbach.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. What was that?
I'm not receiving it yet. I'm staying on my decision to receive until I get certain information from you.
Okay. Oh, yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
When you drill a well, do you have access to data about wells in the area?
Yes.
And what access did you have?
I have an app on my phone. I pull up the location. It shows me yellow dots where the wells are. And I click on a button and it tells me the well reports.
Okay. Your Honor, may I approach and have another exhibit marked?
You may. For the record, I have exhibit number 2, the marked exhibit, and exhibit number 3, the marked exhibit, but I do not have the marked exhibit number 1.
Oh, I can just toss, I have that one.
All right, we'll just exchange.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Mr. Beecroft, do you recognize what is in front of you?
Yes.
And what is that?
On the right-hand side is his well. You see the yellow dots and you see the one that's highlighted. When you're selected on the one that's highlighted, that's the well that's below it. And his is 152. And to the left, you see the one directly to the right of him, ended up at 166 foot deep.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
How did we get these photos that we're looking at?
It's a map. It's zoomed in. This Courtroom Road, just the road names, and the yellow dots are the locations of the wells. And the information below it, where it says well depth, is the depth of the well.
But is this accessed through a program that you have access to?
Yes.
What is the name of that program?
Give me 1 second. I can tell you exactly.
You can't look at your phone.
Okay. Explorer, it's called.
Okay, and you have access to this program through the state, or how do you get access
Yeah,
to
I
it?
just learned about the app.
Okay, and how did you get these pictures that we're looking at?
I screenshotted my phone while I looked it up.
On the app?
Yes.
Okay, and you can basically type in any address then on this app?
Yeah, I just zoomed it.
Include this, I'm not going to accept it because this is an application. Unless he developed the application or he has an expert here who did and can testify as to the application, I'm not receiving this information.
Okay, Your Honor. Mr. Beecroft, have you drilled other wells in the area of Mr. Hulschbach's?
Yes.
How many would you say?
We did one for his neighbor, we're right close to him, within a week of doing his. And like I said, we do 200 wells a year, so it's pretty rare to drive a half mile anywhere where we haven't drilled a well.
Okay,
Did you say you do 200 wells a year?
Yes.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if that was 200 wells total in our 29 years. I thought that was low, but now I know it's a year. Okay, thank you.
so you have drilled a well for Mr. Hulschbach and his neighbor?
Yes.
Okay, and were those wells of different depths?
Yes.
And is that because of the different water quality?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Hulschbach's well was 152 feet.
Yes.
And why did it need to be 152 feet? Can you explain kind of how you drill a well and how that happens?
Yes. Because he said he had horrible iron with his point. So it's a situation where we're going for better water. And like I explained earlier, I told him the day before we drilled that how deep we need to go, it depends on what we drill through, because we needed to go through clear hard pan for the water quality to change.
Clay or what?
Hard pan, which is just really hard ground.
Your Honor, may I approach? I have another exhibit.
You may please get it marked. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Beecroft, can you describe the document in front of you?
Yes, the well construction report. It says what we drilled through when we drilled the well.
And so this is a form that you fill out after you finish drilling a well?
Yes,
And whose well report are we looking at?
this is Rogers.
So the defendant's well report.
Yes,
Okay. And can you explain what box 8 is showing on the well report?
that's what we drilled through.
And so this would show those different materials like you had brought up previously.
Yes,
And so at the beginning, when you're drilling a well, you're trying to get to, as you said before, hard pan or clay,
go through. Yes,
and that's to separate the water qualities,
yes,
to try to achieve better water.
yes,
And that ultimately was the goal that day, was to achieve good water.
yes.
At what point did you achieve good water with this well?
At 152, we went through the clay from 115 to 142. We could have made a well at 100 to 115, but it would have been iron.
Is this a report that you generate?
Yes,
So you made this report?
yes,
All right.
At the bottom, is that your license number and signature dated there?
yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask to admit this as Exhibit 4.
Five.
5.
Mr. Holschbach,
No objection, no objection.
it is received.
Okay. After you finished drilling his well, you then sent him the invoice, correct?
Yes,
You received $9,995 in a check from Mr. Holschbach.
yes,
The remaining balance due, if you do the math, from the $13,403 and take away the $9,995, Mr. Holschbach owes $3,408.
yes.
Okay. I have no further questions for Mr. Beecroft.
All right, Mr. Mr. Holschbach, questions for Mr. Beecroft?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. In your exhibit, I'm not sure what number exhibit it is, but it's the one where you said, Jeremy, we had no intention not to pay the bill.
Text messages, exhibit number 3.
So on the bottom where it's green, you have, you never said that first. Second off, I said, we will have to decide how deep we need to go once we start drilling. Could you explain the we? Does the we include me and you, or you and your company?
Me and my company.
Okay, thank you. Another question I have, did the day of the drilling, which was October 30th, did you tell us, my wife and I, that you were coming back?
We were drilling a well for the neighbor too, which if your well would have stayed shallow, we would have drilled that well the same day.
If your well would have what? Stayed
If
shallow.
your well would have stayed shallow.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to speak a little bit closer into the
Okay.
microphone so that the court reporter can better hear you, because you have one of those lower kind of voices
Okay.
that blends it all together.
Yeah, so I brought my guys there to back them in. They're both drillers themselves. And once we got there, I wanted to show my drillers the neighbor's well we had to do, which we may have done that same day if his well would have ended up shallower. So I dropped them, well, I brought them with me to show them the neighbor's well, then I brought them back to drill the well. I had no intention, and I didn't think he needed me back there. I don't know why you would. Both my guys are good well drillers, and I was in communication with them too while they were drilling. And my guy Justin called me up and told me what he drilled through. And it was like, and he said, well, if we try to make a well here, it's going to be the same quality water as before. So once we put on more, we hit clay. Well, the smart thing to do is to go through that and make a good well. And we got him a good well, good water. He had horrible iron. Now he has great water.
The neighbor?
Him, Mr.
Mr.
Roger.
Holzbach?
Yes.
I have a question before you go and then, because do you test the water at each different level that you reach?
No, you can't test as you're drilling.
You can't?
No.
Okay. How do you know if you've hit good water?
Use our best educated guess.
And your best educated guess is used by if you go through that hard pan and clay?
Yes.
What if you go through sand?
Then it typically doesn't change.
Okay. More questions?
Yes, I have several more questions, Your Honor. So the question I had asked before, so the answer was no, you did not tell us you were coming back? Is that
I
correct?
said, we'll be right back because me and my two drillers left and I came and brought them back.
So Jeremy, so you're telling me the day you came out, and we talked, that your drillers left with you when you left and went to the neighbors? Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you know we wanted, my wife and I, the wells to be 80 feet?
No. Like I told you the day before, if you want good water, how deep the well was going to be was determined by what we drilled through.
So the well was drilled on Thursday. You're saying you came over on Wednesday, the day before, and talked to just me, my wife and me?
Yes, I remember I was facing the well and you were facing towards me because I was trying to walk back towards my truck. Your wife was not there at that time. Maybe she was there in the morning, but our conversations together were me and you.
Could you tell us what the conversation was?
I just said it about where we're going to put the well. You had ran the pipe and wire because you were doing the hookup yourself. We determined where to put the well. And I told you how deep we need to go. Depends on what we drill through. The day before we drilled it.
Do you remember, this would have been on, so I get a little flustered, Your Honor.
I just have a question. What's the relevance on what day he
It
spoke to you?
it has significant relevance because we never met the day before.
Why does that matter?
That it was the day before or not, it was way before.
And that's not relevant
Oh,
as to when you
okay.
spoke or when you didn't. But I have a question before you question. I'm sorry, because I need to understand these reports with your questions and with your answers. When I'm looking at Exhibit 5, that report you generate,
Yep.
I'm looking at where it says 152 feet. And it says geology code S, type caving, non-caving, color, hardness, etc. It says S sand. Doesn't that just mean it was sand and you didn't go through hard pan or clay? Wouldn't it say
From
hard
one-
pan or clay if you did?
We didn't go through any hard pan.
Then how did you know to stop at 152 feet?
Because like from the beginning, it was the same stuff and we never hit a lot of clay until we get to 115. So the smart thing to do, being he wanted better water, was to go through the clay. And when you hit clay, you have no idea when you're gonna get through it. His well could have easily been 200 feet. We don't know.
So, okay, so that's the question. Once you hit clay, well, it looks like at 75 feet, you had sand and clay with silt or silty mixture.
Sand silty, yeah. Silt is.
I know that's not good. And
Yeah.
so you drilled and drilled until you got to this pocket where you had clay and you knew, hey, I have clay. You don't need hard pan and clay, just one or the other or both. But then you knew that you needed to drill further down in order to get the pocket for the water in the
Yes,
well. Okay.
the good water.
And how do you know at 75 feet you're at sand and clay, silty clay, and then at 100 feet you have sand and silty, and 150 feet you have sand? How do you test or know each of those levels and what they are?
We have a screen that we check the cuttings as we're drilling it. Just like they pan for gold with the screen, that's what we're doing with the soil.
And you bring up a sample
Yes,
and then you check it with your screen.
yes,
And that's how you know what you've hit
yes,
and when you've hit it.
yes.
And your machine tells you exactly at what feet you are with what sample you've pulled up.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Holschbach.
Another question here, Jeremy. Do you remember telling us the deeper you go, the better the water?
That's usually how it works.
Yes, okay. Do you remember that I disagreed?
No,
Your Honor, do I explain why I
You
disagree?
can when you testify.
Okay, thank you.
And unless we get this matter moving a lot faster, we're gonna have to set it for a second day. And I'm fine with that. So it doesn't
Okay.
bother me if we set it for another day too.
Thank you so much.
So you have questions, you can keep asking.
Oh, that's it for questions.
Oh, that's
Thank
it?
you.
Okay, all right. So Ms. Klasa, redirect, especially you may, since I had questions and Mr. Holschbach had certain questions.
Mr. Beecroft, when we're looking at the well report and we went over the different, basically the type that was at each level, why would you go after you hit clay at 142? How do you know when you stop the next time? Like after you, does that make sense? After you hit the hard clay,
yes. Once the clay gets out of the soil, I mean, we get far enough into it for the screen to fit in there.
and so you're saying that for that to have happened, you had to go to 152,
Yes,
which was the ultimate depth of Mr. Hulschbach's well.
yes.
Okay. No further questions.
Then I have one. When you're drilling and you're at 142, when you're in clay and you're drilling, and when you keep drilling, does your machine, obviously your machine's working harder when you're with clay or hard pan. Obviously, you can probably tell.
Yes.
How can you tell that it's working harder?
The clay kind of changes the sound sometimes. Like if I was blind, sometimes if I was standing next to the rig, I could hear it bogged down sometimes, but typically, the speed of how it drills, it's slow down if you hit a hard pan, it's drilled a lot slower if you drill hard pan.
And once you drill through, you can tell because it's easier to drill, correct?
Yes,
And so it's as an illustrative or demonstrative example or question, is it like if you have a hand drill and you're drilling a screw through wood and you're drilling, and it's harder because you're drilling through wood. And once you go outside of the wood, it's easier and it goes vroom, really easy.
yes,
That's what it's kind of like.
yes,
Okay. All right. So then those are the signs that tell you I'm through the clay and I'm now back at sand or other things.
yes.
Okay, Ms. Classa, questions off of that question or those questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Hulshock, do you have additional questions?
Yes, I have one additional question here. It refers to this sheet of paper here where you have me being a defendant and then you have a neighbor well.
I'm not accepting that,
Oh,
so that's not
okay.
evidence.
Okay, because I've had a question about that.
Yeah, that's not
Okay.
evidence. But you can ask other questions.
Oh, no, that's it, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, are we done with him?
Yes,
You
Your
may
Honor.
Step down and have another seat. Next witness, Ms. Classa.
We called Justin Ford.
Justin Ford, please come forward. You've already been sworn in. Have a seat at the witness stand. You can begin.
Could you state your name for the record?
Justin Ford,
And what do you do for work?
drill wells for Jeremy Beecroft.
How long have you worked drilling wells?
Almost 10 years.
In those 10 years, could you estimate the number of wells you've drilled?
Over 1,000.
How does one become a well driller?
You have to get licensed through the Wisconsin DNR.
And you are licensed?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you licensed 10 years ago, or do you know when you became licensed?
I believe it was a little over a year and a half ago now, I think.
That you've been licensed?
Yes,
And so once you're licensed, you can drill your own wells?
yes,
Okay. Did you drill a well on October 30th of last year?
yes,
Was that well for the defendant, Mr. Hulshock?
yes,
And you were present that day. Was anyone else present?
I had my rig hand, well, he's another driller too, Eric.
And was
The-
anyone else there?
Yes, both Mr. Hochbach and his wife were there, and then they also had some neighbors come over.
So the defendant was present while you were drilling the well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you explain while you were drilling what was happening?
While we were drilling, the defendant was there and he was actually, taking like mud samples from our rig and collecting them in Ziploc baggies and, little containers like solo cups.
So he was actively participating in the well drilling with you.
Yes.
Is that normal?
Normally they don't like come on our rig like he did, but customers will watch us and then go back about their day and do what they're doing and come check on us every once in a while.
And while you were drilling, did the defendant ever tell you he only wanted to go so deep, or you needed to get in contact with him?
No, ma'am.
And as you're drilling, you guys were having some conversation about the depth?
Yes, I was in contact with Jeremy and telling him what we were drilling through, and we both decided that to get better water, like the defendant wanted, we needed to go deeper.
Okay. And did Mr. Hulshock ever tell you to stop drilling at any point?
No, ma'am.
And he was there all the way to the very end? You know, you're packing up and leaving. You're done drilling the well.
Yep, I believe at one point him and his wife went into their, I think they had a camper there at the time, and they were gone for maybe 10 minutes.
Okay. And do you agree that the well ended up being 152 feet deep?
Yes,
And you agree that at that point is when the defendant would get good water?
yes,
Do you think that the well could have been drilled not as deep, as shallower?
He would have had a lot of iron.
And he didn't want iron and you didn't want iron because why?
That's what he requested from Jeremy, that he wanted better water because his water was awful.
Okay. Um, so ultimately you agree that you drilled the well to the correct depth?
Yes,
Okay. Has, Mr. Beecroft ever instructed you to drill a well deeper than it needs to be?
never.
Okay, you've never been told to drill deeper just because, or we'll make more money if we do that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Um, That's all the questions I have, Your Honor.
Mr. Holschbach, questions?
Yes, I do. Um, so, Jeremy never indicated to you that I wanted a well to be 80 feet deep.
No,
All you had was the proposal for 80 feet deep, or did you not have that either?
I don't ever see them. I get an address to go to a job and he tells us what it's bid at, but if people are looking for better water, we may have to go deeper.
How often do you sample the cut-ins with the screen to get your best take on what you're going through?
I guess it depends on how fast it's drilling, what we're drilling in. Because if you listen to the machine after being around it so long, you can tell just kind of by listening to if things change.
So when you and Jeremy conferenced at, I assume it was 110 feet, when you had called him on the phone, how long did it take from the start of the drilling to get to that 110 feet?
I don't recollect exactly how long it was.
If I told you it was an hour and 6 minutes, would you agree with that?
I guess I wouldn't know if I need to disagree. I don't know.
Did at any, when you were about approximately 30 feet, did I ask what you were drilling through?
You may have if I don't remember, I guess, talking to you very much.
So you don't remember me ask, I don't know if maybe I can't even, well, can I ask something? You can tell me if it's okay?
Yes, I will let you know.
Okay, thank you. At 30 feet, I had asked roughly that area, because I knew each pipe was to a 20 feet pipe, that what we were drilling through, and you had mentioned to me it was clay, and I had responded with good. That's really good. Would you agree with that?
Just wait 1 second. You need the question repeated?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, I can ask it. He asked at 30 feet, I had asked roughly that area which pipe was, 24 feet pipe, that what
20
we,
feet,
what?
20 feet.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It does say 20 feet, 20 feet pipe that we were drilling through. And you mentioned to me it was clay, and I had responded with good. That's really good. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't remember hitting clay at that shallow of a depth.
Your Honor, may I state that in the well report, it states that we were going through.
You can't tell me that. You can tell me that in
we'll skip that.
your testimony.
Okay, okay, another thing, when you were doing the PVC maiden,
Yeah.
at one point, there was about at least a 2-inch separation of what didn't fully mate. And I had asked you, was concerned about that. What was your response?
That'll be okay, I'm sure, because that mark on the pipe doesn't always go down all the way.
Your Honor, may I use pictures?
You may, as you mark them as exhibits.
Yes, that was for exhibit. I have pictures of that incident.
And just have one marked with the clerk, please.
You're okay. You want these together as one exhibit, or do you want different
It'll
exhibits?
be, there's one's just zoomed in more. Your
Okay.
Honor. I'll
So as
go from
one.
memory here, but I see I have to give one.
You do, yes.
So I'll go from my memory, Your Honor.
Did you get a copy to Ms. Classa?
Yep, we got
Okay,
some.
thank you, thank you.
Do you remember that instant after looking at the pictures?
Yes,
You remember me asking and being concerned?
yes,
Is that 2-inch separation or so, is that acceptable?
yes, because the bell is roughly 9 inches, so there still would have been 6 to 7 inches.
Do you remember it being dragged through muck? The PVC pipes before they were put to that?
Well, I could see how muddy it is in the picture, so
Yes.
I imagine so.
Yes. Are you aware, according to, I forget, it's NR 81212, they need to be cleaned and dry before they're asserted together because of the solvent needs to
You're
weld.
asking like much compound questions and you're
Okay, I'm
providing
sorry.
testimony.
Oh, okay,
So first you asked if he was
I'll
familiar
make-
with some statute, maybe?
yes. I'll make it simpler, Your Honor.
Okay,
please.
thank you.
Does it need to be dry before maiden?
Yes, I'm sure the pipe was wiped off before we inserted them together.
Could you tell me how it was wiped off
I'd imagine with our hands.
with your hand?
Yeah,
And that'll dry it?
yeah, we had gloves on, so
So looking at that picture, where it's zoomed in, do you see where it looks like it's muddy, even where the joint is, etc.?
yeah, it looks like there's mud there.
Would, if it was muddy and wet, would that be a violation of NR 812?
First you
Yeah.
have to ask him if he's aware of
oh.
NRA 12, whatever it
Oh,
is.
okay. Are you aware of the requirement?
I guess I don't know what
Oh,
specific
good.
requirement you're talking about.
And NR 812?
There's a whole bunch of requirements in there.
Yes. Are you aware of the requirement that the PVC joints need to be properly cleaned and dry?
I believe that joint would be clean and dry enough for this instance.
Your Honor, I would also like to ask another question.
Yes.
Is it okay if I proceed by bringing this piece in? It's when they drill a well, they put a plastic pipe around, and that's to put the grouting around the casing to seal it so that your upper water doesn't flow down into the new aquifer that you drill. It's got to to keep the separation.
What is that? Is that from your well, from their drilling?
This is so I could help ask the question.
If he's not familiar with what that is.
Yes, I believe he would be very familiar.
Do you know what that is?
It looks like a piece of pipe. I don't believe that's what we use for grout pipe, but
So no, you may not.
Okay, Your Honor, the picture you have in hand, the one that's zoomed out more, are you able to see a black pipe coil? In that picture, I'm going from memory, does it look like there's a black pipe that you tape around the casing that gets inserted into the hole in the ground?
no, that wouldn't come until like the next pipe, I believe.
Yes, I believe so. That would be following later, where you would take a pipe that's similar.
Well, now you're testifying.
Okay, I'm sorry, okay. So that pipe that was placed later in a section, that comes where they sealed the end of it. They pinch it and it's sealed to prevent the dirt to getting inside the pipe.
Correct?
What?
Is that a question? 'Cause
Oh,
You're providing
okay,
testimony.
okay. Do you agree with that?
We don't pinch our grout pipe.
Do the well pipes come that way in the coil where the ends are pinched?
No,
They're open.
ours have caps, yes.
Okay, so your coil well pipe out ends are open so the insides can get contaminated during shipping, housing, etc. Okay, I'm sorry, Your
Sorry
Honor.
about that, court reporter.
Okay,
But you're trying to provide testimony through your questions. You're trying to say, hey, I believe all of these things, Mr. Ford, I think your name is. I believe all of these things. Don't you agree? You can't do that. You have to say, you have to ask him a question and maybe he'll give you the answer you want, but maybe he won't. But you can't state what you can't testify in a question and then go, would you agree?
okay. Your Honor, thank you. No further questions.
Well, I don't want, no, I want you to
Oh.
be able to ask questions if you have questions. You just can't try and throw in testimony and questions. So I'm not trying to stop you questioning.
Okay. So in this situation, the plastic pipe was open.
What plastic pipe?
The end of it, the end you tied to the PVC, or you taped the PVC, the end of the pipe, the black plastic pipe, and was completely open.
Yes, the bottom of it would be open as grout needs to get down it.
No further question, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Klassa?
Just one follow-up question. Do you believe that you drilled the well properly that day?
Yes,
No further questions.
May I ask one more question, Your Honor?
You may.
So when you did the final pumping of the well, the 50 gallons per minute as stated on the report, did I ask you if you need to pump longer?
I believe I remember that.
Do you recall it being around 20 minutes?
I honestly don't know remember how long it was.
Your Honor,
What's the purpose of pumping?
To develop the well, after you get your well casing in the ground with a screen at the bottom, you introduce air to pump the water out.
And what is your normal or average amount of pumping?
I guess it depends on how dirty the water is. If there's sand in there, you have to pump it longer to get the sand out. It just depends on the well itself.
Do you recall how long it took you to pump this well?
I don't recall at the moment.
All right,
Do-
Mr. Holschbach?
do you recall prior to your stop pumping that it was extremely cloudy?
Yes, and that happens from introducing all the air down there. It riles everything up.
do you recall me indicating to you that you should pump it? I seen in well reports that they pump it an hour.
I don't recall you saying that.
I have a question. At what level were you pumping his well? At what footage? Drilled footage?
At the bottom, we have a developing tool on the end of our air hose that we drop down the well. And you put it all the way to the bottom and it blows all the water from the bottom to the top.
So you're saying that at 152 feet is when you pumped his well?
Yes, we pump them from the bottom.
So at the bottom of your drilling?
Yeah, so when we are done drilling, we get our mud thin down and we have a stainless steel screen we put on the bottom of this pipe. And that stainless steel screen is what sits at the bottom of the well.
All right, so you don't pump a well until you've reached the footage that you believe you have good water.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Would it matter if you pump a well 20 minutes or an hour?
I
Make a
don't,
difference?
I don't believe so. It just, if you have sand, if you pump it longer, sometimes it cleans the sand out.
Cleans the sand out from where?
The bottom of the well where was inside the screen.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Holschbach?
Um, when you did the grouting, it pumped through the PV or the black plastic pipe. You pumped the grout from the bottom up,
Yes,
and the grout did come out the top.
yes.
How much is the grout expected to settle after that, say 1 day later?
I guess that depends on the ground as well, because some ground will really, I guess the best word would be the ground eats it up and some ground doesn't.
Would over 10 feet be significant?
Yes, I've seen it settle that much.
Was I there present when you did the grouting?
I believe so.
So that wasn't the time when I was in our camping trailer with my wife.
I don't believe so.
Did I leave near the end of your drilling?
It was right in the middle of our drilling.
So I was present at the end of your drilling.
I believe so.
No further question, Your Honor.
All right, your excuse, thank you. And
Do I
we've
just-
reached our time. So I'm going to fully release Mr. Ford and we're going to set a second date. I can do August 3rd at 9.
Mr. Beecroft won't be here on August 3rd.
That's totally fine. I can do September 8th at 10:15.
That would work for us.
All right. The whole time.
May I
You're not-
check with my
Nope.
wife?
You're not available?
I really don't know. My
It
wife,
says no.
oh,
I can do September 25th at 9.
That works for us.
All right, thank you. How long do you want? The whole time. Not all day, but half day. Okay. All right. Thank you. You can come get your notices September 25th at 9.
Can a customer refuse to pay thousands of dollars after a job is already finished? That's the question at the center of this courtroom battle. A well drilling company claims it installed a 152-foot well and delivered exactly what the customer asked for: better water with less iron. But the homeowner says he only approved a much shallower well and was never properly consulted before the drilling went deeper. As both sides faced the judge, the dispute quickly turned into a technical showdown about water quality, drilling depth, clay layers, and who actually had the authority to make the final decision. The company insists the homeowner watched the entire process and never objected. The homeowner argues the extra depth was never authorized and left him with a much larger bill than expected. With thousands of dollars still unpaid, both sides presented evidence, text messages, invoices, and expert testimony to support their claims. But as the hearing continued, one big question remained unanswered. Was the deeper well necessary to provide better water, or was the customer charged for work he never approved? Stay tuned, because the judge's final decision could determine who ultimately pays the price.